All right, people, we are to the final document before you have to write your short paragraph and then you are done with the DBQ. The final document is Document F, and if you look at the note, it says Japanese samurai and European knights had different views of death. So what this document is there's a samurai death poem, or two of them, and then there's a song about a knight's death. So you can go up here to the samurai death poems. The first one says, "One day you're born, you die the next. Today at twilight, autumn breezes blow." So that was the first samurai death poem. Very short, very sweet. You're 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 born one day and then you die the next day. Very short. And then the second samurai poem is, "Had I not known that I was dead already, I would have mourned my loss of life." So again, another very dark poem there about the samurai death. You go down here to the knight's death. "Now Roland feels that the end of his life has come. He is laid down on a steep hill with his face toward Spain, and with one hand he beats his breast. God, I acknowledge my guilt, and I beg for thy mercy for all the sins, greater and lesser, which I have committed from the hour of my birth until this day, when I lie here, overcome by death. He has held out his right glove to God. Angels descend out of heaven and come to him." So you can kind of see that a knight's death was a much bigger deal. I mean, he's crying out to God, he's begging for mercy, whereas up here, you got the samurai, one day you're born, you die the next. So because of the samurai beliefs, it's not as big of a deal when a samurai dies. So those are the two poems, and then a little passage about a knight's death. So let's look at our final questions down here for Document F. What is the main idea of the samurai poems? What are they about? So you're just going to tell me very quickly, what are those two poems about? Number two, how would you describe the French knight's view of life? So you're going to kind of look in the knight, because he is a French knight, and you've got to look down here and where he's talking about all of his sins that he's did his entire life. That's where you're going to look for the answer for number two. How would you describe the French knight's view of life? And then number three, again, you're just going to use the documents, but it's an opinion, so you can't really get it wrong as long as you're using the documents. In general, what were the responses to death of the samurai and the knight? And were they similar or different? So were the responses to death between a samurai and a knight similar or different? And so that's number three. Once you get that finished, you are finished with the documents, and you're going to watch the final video, which is all about the paragraph.